Hey everybody, Joe here. I put together a short video. I wanted to chat a bit about that recent post we had on, I think it was River Redemption page. Not sure exactly which one it was, but a lot of really good feedback on that post. And there was a couple topics that I wanted to talk about in that post. Again, first of all, thank you everybody for the feedback. And I want to start out by saying that I've heard it 100 times if I've heard it 10. You can't always make everybody happy in this deal, and I get that. But at the same time, I don't want to use that as a crutch. I want to listen to what people are saying and keep my ear to the voice of the racer and make sure we're making the changes we need to keep this event down to earth and for the real, just the regular guys. I know we got fast cars, but I want to try to keep it down to earth as possible. So with that said, a couple things. There's quite a few comments about the crews being part of this race, and I get that quite often. People ask that question, and the short answer to that is we are not going to require a cruise. It's not going to happen, and for simple reasons is legally for you guys to have some of these cars on the streets is, especially if it's an Illinois registered car, it's almost certain it's probably not legal to be on the roadway if it has a cage in it. That comes from the DMV in Springfield, a guy that I talked to firsthand a year or so back. And then secondly is just the liability with putting it out there. If I require you guys to go this or that, and something would happen, and that comes back a liability issue, which I don't want no part of, or to pass that along to Cordova. I don't want that either. So the liability side of it. But I think in that post I made mention of somebody else brought it up that I am open to, say you want to drive your car to the track. And I know a couple guys have done that in the past. Say you want to drive your car to the track. I'm open to some discussion about, maybe we put you guys, let's just give a for instance. Let's say a group of 8 guys get together or whatever. Maybe 4 guys come out of Iowa and 4 guys come out of southern part of Illinois, whatever. And they drive to the track and they make a 30-minute, 45-minute drive, whatever. I don't want you unloading 5 minutes from the track, but they drive a bit of a distance. We'll figure that out. That's not for this post now, but say they do that. I would be open or entertain a discussion about bracketing you guys together at the beginning of the event. So what does that mean? We pull chips. You 8 guys that drove your cars to the track would get to pull chips with another guy that drove his car to the track, and then ultimately you'd pair down to 1 car. And then, say there's 8 and 8, we have 16 car field. This is all just, we get to see what it is, but you would pair down to 1 car. Maybe the guys that didn't, they trailered their cars, would pair down to 1, and then you guys would meet in the final round, and whoever won it, won it. And there's been some talk about maybe we'd make a little bit of an incentive, we'd give the guy with the real street car that won that maybe a little extra money or something. I don't know, to find sponsors. And again, that's not for this. I'm just trying to open it up for maybe a bit more discussion, and to say that I am open to maybe a little more talk about a cruise. Again, I'll go on record and say we would never require that, but we could, if you guys, you're one of those guys, your car is legal, you're comfortable with having it on the street, and you wanted to do something like that, that would be up to you, and we could maybe consider that. Second thing is, I wanted to talk about was fuel. Quite a few guys talked about M1. I think back in 2019, I did have a car I know that was on M1, and he did very well. I changed the rules up a good bit in 2020 that made that car ineligible to race in 2020. And I think in 2020, I don't believe I had any M1 cars. Not sure about that, but I don't believe I did. So I really didn't have a problem in 2020. So what I want to say about M1 is, and I've learned this a little bit of being the coordinator for this group, was that a lot of times people will say things and they say, well, I'm going to bring a car, and they don't bring a car. So I'm a little bit, I almost tend to take the reactive stance. With that said is, I don't want to put a rule in place right now for M1 if I don't have a problem with it. I don't want to make a solution to a problem that I don't have. Now, with that said, if in 2021 the first 2 races are won by cars running M1, then I will go on record in this video saying that for the 3rd race, I'll take a look at what we can do to prevent that, because I don't want those guys running away with it. I know it's a lot of you guys just run race gas. I don't want the M1 guys running away from it. The reason I'm a little bit hesitant is to enforce a rule. Police M1 takes a bit of work. It's a bit of a monster. We can check cars and tag what fuel they're running, but guys are sneaky. If I'm gonna do it right, I gotta check cars on the return road. I gotta pull a fuel line. I gotta get a sample. I gotta check. If I'm gonna do it right, that's the way I'm gonna do it. And that's a lot of work that I don't really want to get into if I don't have to. So, I don't know. I guess that's kind of my stance. Let's see where the year goes, and we'll go from there. So, anyway, just a bit of a wrap up, short summary. The cruise is not going to be required. We will not require a cruise for CISCS. It's not going to happen. However, I'm open to some discussion about a kind of a clause that if guys have cars that are legal, can drive on the street, if they want to drive, we can maybe make an incentive to bracket those guys together that night, which is kind of cool in a way. One, if you get beat by a guy that drove his car and you drove your car, well, I don't want to hear, well, you got beat by a guy that drove his car to the strip, so you can't really complain. And if you end up being the #1 guy that night that drove your car to the strip, you're a badass. That's about all I can say. And that'd be pretty cool. I can see that. And then again, M1, let's see where the year goes, and I will address it as we need to, and I'll go on record saying that. So anyway, thanks again, everybody, for the feedback. I do appreciate it, and I'm always trying to make this program so the everyday guy can come out and compete and be competitive and have fun. So can't do it without you guys' feedback. So thanks again, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later.